Today, we're diving into an idea so simple it's easy to overlook, but so powerful it can literally reshape your entire world. It's called the law of assumption.
So let's just start with a question that gets right to the heart of everything. And I'm not talking about who you hope you'll be one day or who you're trying to become. I mean, right now, this very second, who do you assume you are? Because that one single assumption, well, it determines pretty much everything that happens next.
You know, when you really boil it down, it's a choice between two fundamental identities. On one hand, you can see yourself as a victim of your circumstances, just reacting to a world that happens to you. Or you can see yourself as the author, the one in charge, shaping a world that happens from you. This law says that choice is 100% yours.
So let's really get into the nuts and bolts here. What is this power of assumption exactly? Well, the whole idea is that whatever you accept as true in your own consciousness, that's what ends up becoming your reality.
And this definition is absolutely crucial. We are not talking about wishful thinking here. This isn't about just hoping for the best. An assumption, in this sense, is a deep, gut-level acceptance that something is a fact, even when your five senses, your friends, and your bank account are all screaming the exact opposite. It's a quiet conviction that doesn't need any outside proof.
This quote really nails it. It's all about cultivating a feeling of certainty, a calm inner knowing that what you want is already a done deal. It's just waiting in the wings to make its appearance. But what kind of feeling are we really talking about?
Okay, this is the part where so many people get tripped up. The feeling we're talking about isn't some big, loud, emotional high. It's not about getting all hyped up or excited. No, it's something way more subtle and a whole lot more powerful.
Just think about your own name for a second. Do you get all giddy about it every morning? Of course not. You don't hope it's yours. You don't try to believe it's yours. You just know it is. It feels normal. It's a quiet, unshakable, natural assumption. That is the feeling we're going for, the feeling of pure naturalness.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds great in theory, but does it actually work? Well, the source material is absolutely packed with incredible stories from people who put this to the test and saw their lives completely change. Let's look at a few.
So picture this. There's this young man who is totally convinced he's unlucky. He's broke, he feels defeated, he's about to be evicted. But instead of obsessing over all his problems, he decides to try something different. He starts to assume the feeling of being the successful, confident man he wants to be. And get this, within just 10 days, a random opportunity lands in his lap. 4 months later, his entire life had rearranged itself to match his new assumption.
And it's not just about money or careers. It's said to work on relationships, too. There was a mother who hadn't spoken to her son in 5 long years. She had tried everything to fix things, but nothing worked. So she just stopped trying, and she started assuming.
For 3 weeks, all she did was live in the feeling of having a wonderful, loving relationship with her son. And then, out of the blue, he called. He told her he had been dreaming about her constantly and just had this overwhelming feeling that he had to get in touch. It's like her inner assumption created a direct change in him.
One last quick one for you. A businessman set a goal to double his income. He started to feel what it would be like to already have that money, picturing the nicer car, the better house, and the result? 6 months later, he hadn't just doubled his income, he'd tripled it.
Okay, these stories are amazing, but the big question is, how do you actually do this? Well, the source material lays out a really clear step-by-step method for putting this law into practice.
So here it is, the 6 steps. 1, you have to know exactly what you want. Be specific. 2, you build a tiny little scene in your mind that implies your wish is already fulfilled, like a friend congratulating you. 3, you make that scene as real and vivid as you possibly can. 4, and this is the magic ingredient, you capture the feeling of that scene. That feeling of relief or joy or satisfaction. 5, you hold on to that feeling and return to it during your day. And finally, number 6, you just persist. You keep at it until that new feeling feels completely normal, completely natural.
All right, let's be real. The moment you start doing this, one giant obstacle is going to pop up. What on earth do you do about doubt? You know, when your brain and all your senses are telling you this is crazy?
Well, the answer is a complete game changer. You have to reframe what doubt even is. See, doubt isn't some big scary monster you have to fight off. It's just another assumption. Belief is the assumption that you'll succeed. Doubt is the assumption that you'll fail. That's it. You have a choice between 2 different assumptions. So, the only question is, which one serves you better?
And that leads us to the final and maybe most profound concept of all. It's called living from the end. This is where the whole thing transforms from just a technique into a whole new way of being.
Here's the core of it. Most of us spend our entire lives thinking of the things we want. We see them way off in the distance, something we have to chase. Living from the end flips that completely. It means you mentally move into the state of the wish fulfilled. You start thinking from the perspective of the person who already has it.
And this is the truly revolutionary idea at the heart of it all. It's not about trying to become someone new. It's about realizing that the version of you who is successful or happy or healthy isn't something you need to build from scratch. That person already exists.
Here's a great way to think about it. Imagine your consciousness is like a gigantic wardrobe, filled with an infinite number of outfits. Each outfit is a different state of being. There's a poor you outfit, a rich you outfit, a confident you outfit. They all already exist. Your job isn't to sew a new outfit, it's just to decide which one you're going to put on today by assuming the feeling of it.
So what this all means is that real transformation isn't some future event you have to work and struggle towards. It's a shift in your consciousness that can happen right here, right now. Your ideal reality is already present, just waiting for you to claim it.
And that brings us right back to where we started with a question. If every possible version of you is already here, if the person you truly want to be isn't some distant dream, but a present reality you can choose to step into right now, will you assume it? According to this law, that power is and always has been entirely yours.